Some strategy games become successful, some become classics, and then there are games that completely change gaming history. In 2002, Blizzard Entertainment released Warcraft III: Reign of Chaos. At first glance, it looked like another real-time strategy game. Players gathered resources, built bases, trained armies, and fought for victory. But Warcraft III was different. It introduced powerful heroes that gained experience, learned abilities, and became the heart of every battle. It delivered a story that players still discuss decades later. And perhaps most importantly, it created a community that would help shape the future of gaming itself. From esports to custom maps and even entirely new genres, Warcraft III left an impact that few games can match. More than 2 decades later, it remains one of the most influential strategy games ever made. Today, we're revisiting the game that changed the RTS genre forever. This is Warcraft III, the world of Azeroth. One of Warcraft III's greatest strengths was its world. Unlike many strategy games that focused primarily on warfare, Warcraft III placed a huge emphasis on storytelling. Players weren't simply commanding armies. They were taking part in an epic fantasy saga filled with heroes, villains, betrayals, and impossible choices. The game featured 4 unique races: the noble humans, the fierce orcs, the mysterious night elves, and the terrifying undead scourge. Each faction had its own unique identity, from the humans defending their kingdoms and the orcs searching for redemption, to the night elves protecting nature in isolation, and the undead carrying out the Lich King's dark will. More importantly, each race felt completely different to play. This variety helped make every campaign and multiplayer match feel fresh. Even before the battles began, players became invested in the world and its characters. That emotional connection was one of the reasons Warcraft III stood apart from so many competitors. A story that players still remember. Many strategy games are remembered for gameplay. Warcraft III is remembered for its story. The campaign followed several characters whose decisions shaped the future of Azeroth. Perhaps the most famous was Arthas Menethil. At the beginning of the game, Arthas was a heroic prince determined to protect his people. But as the story progressed, his desperation slowly transformed him. Faced with impossible situations and terrible choices, he began sacrificing more and more of his principles. Eventually, what began as a noble mission to protect his kingdom became a descent into darkness, as Arthas was gradually corrupted by forces far beyond his control. His transformation into the Lich King became one of the most memorable character arcs in gaming history. Players watched his journey unfold step by step, and because they experienced those events firsthand, the story carried a powerful emotional impact. The game also explored the struggles of Thrall and the orcs as they searched for a new future. It introduced players to Illidan Stormrage, Tyrande Whisperwind, Malfurion Stormrage, and many other iconic characters. The campaign wasn't just a collection of missions, it felt like an interactive fantasy epic. Heroes changed everything. One of Warcraft III's biggest innovations was its hero system. Previous RTS games generally treated units as disposable. If a soldier died, players simply trained another one. Warcraft III approached things differently. Heroes became the centerpiece of every army. They gained experience by defeating enemies. They leveled up throughout matches. They unlocked powerful abilities, and they could equip magical items found during the game. Suddenly, players had units they genuinely cared about. Losing a high-level hero could completely change the outcome of a battle. Every faction had several heroes to choose from. The humans had powerful leaders such as the Archmage and Mountain King. The orcs relied on heroes like the Blademaster and Farseer. Night elves commanded heroes such as the Demon Hunter and Keeper of the Grove. The undead brought terrifying heroes like the Death Knight and Lich. Each hero offered unique abilities and strategies. This system added an entirely new layer of depth to the RTS genre. Many games would later borrow similar mechanics, but Warcraft III was one of the titles that proved just how effective the idea could be. 4 factions, 4 completely different playstyles. Balance is one of the most difficult challenges in strategy games. Warcraft III solved this problem by making each race feel unique while still remaining competitive. Humans excelled at versatility. Their strong defenses, balanced units, and powerful spellcasters allowed them to adapt to almost any situation. Orcs focused on durable units and aggressive combat. They often relied on powerful heroes and direct engagements. Night elves embraced mobility and nature-based abilities. Their living structures and unique mechanics made them unlike any other faction. Meanwhile, the undead relied on dark magic, powerful summons, and relentless pressure. Because every race felt distinct, players often developed strong preferences. Some spent years mastering a single faction. Others enjoyed learning the strengths and weaknesses of all 4. The diversity kept the game exciting long after release. Multiplayer became huge. While the campaign attracted players, multiplayer kept them coming back. Battle.net connected thousands of players from around the world. Competitive matches became intense tests of skill, strategy, and decision-making. Every second mattered. Players had to manage resources efficiently, control heroes carefully, scout enemy positions, and react to constantly changing situations. The skill ceiling was incredibly high. Professional players emerged from every region. Tournaments attracted large audiences. And Warcraft III became one of the most respected competitive strategy games of its era. Many legendary esports careers began with Warcraft III. Even years later, the competitive scene remained active because of the game's remarkable depth. The birth of custom maps. If Warcraft III had only offered campaigns and multiplayer, it would still be remembered fondly. But Blizzard gave players something even more powerful: the World Editor. This tool allowed players to create their own maps, game modes, and experiences. What happened next changed gaming history. Creative players began building entirely new games inside Warcraft III. Tower defense maps became incredibly popular. Role-playing adventures appeared. Mini-games emerged. Puzzle maps attracted dedicated communities. And then came a custom map called Defense of the Ancients, better known as DotA. At the time, few people realized how important that map would become. DotA introduced gameplay ideas that eventually helped create the MOBA genre. Years later, games like League of Legends and Dota 2 would become global phenomena. Their roots could be traced directly back to Warcraft III's custom map community. Few games can claim to have helped inspire an entire genre. Warcraft III is one of them. The soundtrack and atmosphere. Another reason Warcraft III remains memorable is its atmosphere. From the moment players launched the game, they were immersed in a rich fantasy world. The music perfectly matched each faction and environment. Peaceful forests felt mysterious and magical. Human kingdoms felt noble and hopeful. Undead territories felt dark and unsettling. Orc settlements carried a sense of strength and determination. The sound design was equally impressive. Units had memorable voice lines.
Yes, me lord. What is it? More work?
What we do?
Spells felt powerful. Battles sounded dramatic and exciting. Everything worked together to create an experience that felt alive. Even today, longtime fans can instantly recognize many of the game's sounds and musical themes. The Frozen Throne expansion. In 2003, Blizzard released the Frozen Throne. Rather than simply adding a few new features, the expansion significantly expanded the Warcraft III experience. New campaign chapters continued the story. Additional heroes and units expanded strategic possibilities. New maps increased multiplayer variety, and players gained even more tools for creating custom content. The Frozen Throne also completed several major storylines that fans had been following since the original release. For many players, Warcraft III and the Frozen Throne became inseparable. Together, they represented the complete Warcraft III experience. The expansion helped extend the game's lifespan for years and further strengthened its legendary reputation. Why Warcraft III still matters. Many strategy games have come and gone. Few remain relevant decades later. Warcraft III continues to matter because it succeeded on multiple levels at once. It delivered excellent gameplay. It offered memorable characters. It introduced innovative mechanics. It supported a thriving competitive scene, and it empowered players to create their own content. Very few games manage to excel in all of those areas simultaneously. Its influence can still be seen throughout modern gaming. Countless developers, professional players, content creators, and game designers were inspired by experiences they had in Warcraft III. The game's legacy extends far beyond the RTS genre. Warcraft III wasn't just another strategy game. It was a game that expanded what strategy games could be. Its heroes transformed gameplay. Its story captivated millions of players. Its multiplayer scene created countless rivalries, and its custom maps helped shape the future of gaming itself. More than 20 years after its release, players still return to Azeroth, not simply because of nostalgia, but because Warcraft III remains genuinely special. It proved that a strategy game could offer unforgettable characters, meaningful stories, deep competition, and endless creativity all at the same time. And that's why Warcraft 3 continues to stand among the greatest strategy games ever made. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe for more deep dives into gaming's most influential titles, and let us know in the comments, what is your favorite memory from Warcraft 3? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.